Hello lovelies, if you give me 15 minutes of your time today, I'm gonna share the exact techniques that I use to look 5 inches taller. You're gonna learn the optical illusion tricks that I use daily to look a lot taller than I am. I'm only 5'4" and people always think I am so much taller than I am. In the summer, we don't have a lot to hide behind. It's usually our little body with a couple of layers on. And so we don't have a ton of tricks up our sleeve like we do in the fall winter when we're able to rely on knee-high boots, long, beautiful silhouettes of the top coats, scarves that drape, hats, and so much more that is available to us. Many of you know that long dresses, wearing heels, maybe wearing all black is going to be elongating. We're moving beyond that today and getting really focused on different things that you may have not thought of before. And you'll see the side-to-side comparison that will really make it click for you. So welcome back to Ziva Shop Style, your over 40 bestie in everyday elegance. We'll start with one of the easiest things to execute for summer, which is wearing stripes. We all lean into our nautical vibes for the summer season. I'm a huge sucker for the horizontal stripe in the MARINIÈRE that I'm showing you here. However, if you want to look taller, you want to go for a vertical stripe that can really play a huge part in elongating your look. I'll also call out that another key point in wearing this MARINIÈRE is that this is a round crew neck style that also doesn't really help elongate me. In this vertical stripe shirt, I have not only the vertical stripes, but I have that V shape with a slight, which I'm using right now too, that opens up the chest. There's a scientific study where anytime that you have a line that ends in a V shape, your eye automatically thinks that it's longer. So use this as much as you can. This is really helping me out. The other consideration with this outfit with the vertical stripes is that I'm tucking in the shirt so your eye moves up towards my waistline, elongating my legs. And you can even fake where your waist is, especially if you're not short-waisted and you have a longer torso. You can even like move it up a little bit and appear a little bit taller. Of course, you want to do the opposite of this. If you are short-waisted, you want to fake a longer torso and move your waistline down. So those are all really great hacks to play around with proportion and kind of where you want people to think that your legs start. If you really want to wear this MARINIÈRE with the horizontal stripes because it's such a classic summer staple, then implementing some of those things that we did with the vertical stripes is really helpful. Tucking in the shirt, adding a belt, moving the eye further up, wearing colors that match your skin tone are going to also really help, especially with these pants that aren't really doing us any favors. They're kind of barrel horseshoe shape and they're not providing a ton of length either. So we're really relying on those vertical stripes to help elongate. And if you lose those vertical stripes, then you have to make sure that you're tucking in the shirt, you're moving everything up. Vertical stripes also work really well when it comes to wearing them in your bottoms. However, we're not all huge fans of this particular look. I think that they've come a long way and Tuckernuck has a beautiful pair of horizontal stripes, as does Anthropologie, but sometimes they can feel a little clowny or just really loud. So if that is not your vibe, then I recommend that you fake the vertical line stripes in your pants by using pleats. And this is the second point. Pleated pants can be very elongating, especially if they're outward facing, because that helps minimize any type of tummy bulking that sometimes happens when the pleats face inward and they create like kind of draping and a lot of bulginess right around the abdomen. I don't care who you are, you don't need it. And so you want something that is facing outwards, it's pleated, and it creates those vertical lines without being like an actual print, just a draping that draws, again, the eye downward. For number 3, so important, and this is almost counterintuitive because you would think that if you buy longer pants, that it'll make your legs look longer and you'll look taller. And this can be true, so we'll just put a little pin in that, okay? That can be true. However, if you get pants that are too long for you and you wear shoes like flip-flops and you're just tripping all over your pants all the time, it just ends up looking like you're too short for your pants. Do not fooling anybody. You just look like you're wearing somebody else's pants that are too long for you. It doesn't help you look taller and leaner whatsoever. So picking the right inseam is really key because you want something that really fits you well, your legs, your proportion, so that you can utilize these other tricks to help trick the eye into helping you look taller. And the first key thing is making sure that your pants pants fit. And this is just a general rule, no matter how tall you are, or even if you don't necessarily always go out and want to look taller in the world, picking an inseam is almost like one of the top 3 fashion rules that are a rule for a reason. Like it works really well because it helps you look more stylish and put together with very low lift, because when your clothes fit you, you're just gonna look so much better and you're gonna feel more confident. When you feel confident, you can do anything because you just walk through the world a little bit easier. Now back to the little pin in it moment. If you're gonna wear pants that are too long for you and you pair them with a rocking pair of heels, that's gonna work, okay? However, not all of us can commit to wearing heels all the time. So this is where you have to make decisions, right? However, sometimes you find heels that make your life so much easier that you can wear daily, which is, I am so excited to share today's sponsor, COSY Island Shoes. COSY Island Shoes and I go way back. Even when I was just a customer, I love these shoes so much. I gravitate towards these shoes in my daily life because there's so much to love. So if you do want to buy those longer pants, or you just love the way that heels make you feel really powerful, then COSY Island Shoes will be your best friend because they are made to minimize everyday impact with high rebound cushioning all around, which whether that is inside the shoe where your foot sits or inside the shoe into the sole. My personal favorite part of COSY Island shoes is that they have traction, which when I don't have traction, I feel it right away because I do not move and glide through my day in the same confident way because I don't have that gripping on the ground. And I never feel like I'm gonna slip in these shoes, which is such a good feeling, and it makes it that much more comfortable because you're not gripping inside the shoe with your toes and trying to like hang on inside there for dear life. And when that happens too, sometimes the ball of your foot is just on fire because you're like gripping and you're literally on the ball of your foot. Not with COSY Island. They're made with an airweave fabric, so no break-in required. Skin-friendly straps too to reduce friction, which is so key with these sandals. Sometimes like, okay, everything is working fine, but then this like what actually sits on top of your foot is rubbing up against you and creating so much friction that you like take the shoe off and you're like, oh my gosh, what just happened to my foot? This is not the case with these. There's also a hidden stretch design, which allows for a flexible fit. It always has a stable heel, which is absolutely key when you're looking for high heels that are going to be comfortable. There's a stability in every single shoe. And even though there's such great value, I'm so excited to share an extra 10% off discount code. And as we get to the 4th point on how to look taller, I want to call out special attention to using shoes that match your skin tone to finish the outfit. Because what ends up happening is this looks like an extension of your leg versus having it either match the bottom or kind of a random color of shoe. When it matches your skin tone, it really looks like an extension of your legs and it makes you look so much taller. These are 2 of the shoes that I've shown you so far for the outfit, and I wanted to focus on this one because this is one of their newest drops. This is the Steady Weave Block double strap sandal in apricot, and I knew I was gonna love it because it's double straps, which is very trendy this year, the sling back, and then I picked a tone that I know matches my skin tone very closely to really help elongate my leg. You can see in this example too that wearing skin tone shoes is just gonna help elongate your legs. And the other shoes that I chose for this exact purpose are these much higher heels that are also super comfortable. They're the strap platform heel sandal that is available in a few colors, and I just thought this was the perfect way to finish off a dress and look really long and lean. Now that we've got the right type of stripes and also the right color of shoes, let's move on to some shapes. This outfit is a really clear example of how easily it is to manipulate shape to help you look taller. In one look, we have a white pair of very tapered straight leg jeans, a mariniere that's a little bit longer, and flip-flops, which is a very casual, expected summer outfit. All of the elements have promise and could work. On the other hand, we have flare leg jeans. These are by the Noli shop, and they have a slight little flare, which trick the eye into helping me appear taller. And it's one of the easiest hacks that us petite or average size ladies can use, is to look for those V shapes all around to help elongate our frame. Now, the other thing that's making this outfit really shine is that my shirt by Lily Silk is not too long and it's not cropped. It's the perfect length. It kind of sits right at my hip bones and I don't have to do anything to it, which is amazing. And it's also got a V shape because it's a polo. So it's really easy to style. And this is a shirt that I've worn so much this season already. So you can see that I have two moments of V-shapes in this look. I have the top, which is the polo, and then I have the flare-like jeans, which form the two triangles at my ankles. I'm finishing off this look with another pair of COSY ISLAND shoes, which I have so worn so far. Like, I just slip into them and I'm so much more comfortable in them than I am in flip-flops. Like, I am not even kidding. These are amazing. Like, I just kind of walk around, even like to walk my dog. It's amazing. These are the Glide Buckle Double Strap Sandal. And I also have it in an espresso brown. I love mixing browns with all sorts of shades, but I have been wearing the black ones more than the brown ones. So just saying, I'm finishing off a look just to have a little sandwich roll moment where I have the black top and then something different in the middle and then end with a black shoe. This is another pair of shoes, it's just amazing. Now a really quick note with maxi skirts, as we all know are super elongating. Quick note about them is if you choose to do a drop waist, especially if you have a shorter waistline, can really help elongate your frame. This is one of the dresses that I've overworn this season already. It's so easy to get into. It's almost like I have to tell myself not to keep wearing it. It's by Fabrique. I have a 10% off discount code and it's amazing. It's a slight drop waist, tiered skirt, very elongating. I love wearing it. But above and beyond that, okay, we all know maxi skirt's gonna make us look taller, especially if we're wearing shoes like the ones that I'm showing you here. What about non-maxi dresses? So when you have a shorter dress, I will just caution you that if the hemline is right around your knees, it's gonna cut off your legs. It's just gonna make your legs look shorter. It doesn't matter how long your legs are just gonna look shorter. And now I love this dress. It's like an old Club Monaco one that I've had forever. And I have so many memories in it. I love this dress. It's not gonna make me look taller. Will I still wear it? Yes. I mean, it's not always about like, I must look taller, but there's some days where you're like, you know what? I need to look longer today. And so this is why we're here, right? Now, on the other hand, we have a dress that's not super short. It's not a super huge mini skirt, 'cause I can't do that, but it's a little shorter where I'm showing the top of my knee. And that is huge when it comes to helping me look taller, because it's not cutting off my leg like right at the knee. Now, if you want to release the secret weapon and really go for the height and the, just like the, whoa, she's 5'9" kind of look, then guess what? You can use the platform heel sandal. And not only are they literally making me 4 or 5 inches taller, but also they're skin toned and they have the platform. It's all working for us. And so I am gonna look taller. So this is what I would call the secret weapon in this instance. You are not fooling anybody. You're wearing huge heels. This is not like a huge optical illusion, but it kind of still is, because wow, it's like the actual mechanical part mixed in with the optical illusion beauty that is making you look a lot taller than you are. What about shorts? Okay, I'm so glad you asked. If you want your legs to look longer, may I suggest that you wear Western boots with your shorts. Now I'm going to show you the same pair of shorts and I'm going to share what happens when I'm using a midi pair of Western boots that's cutting me off right at mid-calf, and then I'm using the same outfit, same pair of shorts with knee-high boots with a slope. Makes you look longer. Having that little peekaboo moment where you can still see the top of my knee and underneath my knee, but then you have that long shaft of the boot that's making my calf look a lot longer than it is, and it's got a little bit of a heel, and then the slopes, which also creates a very elongating shape. I suddenly look a lot taller, even though the heel difference there is no heel difference. They're both the same kind of like classic Western boot heel, but I end up looking a lot taller. And these are not Bermuda shorts. These are just like more of like, I think a couple inches they could be Bermuda shorts, but they're not. These are just like slightly longer, like non-Daisy Duke shorts, which I refuse to wear. So that's kind of a little shorts hack, is if you have Western boots, put them on, especially if they're knee high, and you're gonna have yourself a very elongating look. Number 8 is monochrome, and I wanna show you an example with the same pieces. You can see like how it really is true, like you're seeing it right then and there. In one example, I have a set that's together. This is by Suzanne. It's a bestseller. It's really beautiful. It has a crochet type of vibe about it that is amazing. It's 100% cotton, but I digress. If you don't have something like that, like, you should probably grab it. But if I wear this beautiful skirt with this other really beautiful top that's black, and it's got very nice proportions. This shirt also by Suzanne, which by the way, make sure to head there after this. It's full of really beautiful summer items. If you have a shirt that is a little bit, sitting right at the waistline, again, it's gonna really help elongate your legs. However, you cannot deny that when I'm wearing the monochrome look, I just look longer because I'm not being chopped off right in the middle where I have two tones and then that's it. So there is something to be said for that. Another example is this all white look, which I love. I love, 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 love this look. This is a very affordable look actually by Quince, which I featured in a couple of videos ago, where I have that top. Again, it's kind of creating a little V shape, and then the pleated pants, which I showed you earlier. These are the ones that I featured in number 2, and it's an all white look. Even the belt is white. And then I am finishing off the look with, see, I have my trusty, which you can tell I've been wearing a ton, with my trusty COSY Island shoes that are super comfortable and again, match my skin tone. So even though my bag is a little pop of color, having that all white look, which is very elongating, and then having my feet stick out with shoes that match my feet, you've got a winning tall look. Number 9 is odds and ends. So let's talk about like what happens when you've got all of these things down and then you're finishing up the look. Okay, but bringing your hair up and then adding a dangly earring is very elongating. Also a hat. You're adding like mechanical height and also an optical illusion. You look longer. A gorgeous straw hat to protect yourself from the sun, very helpful. Also, if you don't want to be like crazy about creating these V shapes and wearing like a polo and the button downs, and I mean, who wants to feel like you have to nail this every time? You can artificially create that with a necklace with a pendant, because that pendant will give you a V shape. And this is also a really great hack if you are busty and have, you know, are blessed with blessed with that. And sometimes like you're wearing a crew neck shirt and you just feel like you're so out there. That can really help break up that bust moment for yourself. So this is just a really great hack that really nobody talks about. And the next thing, which can be a little bit harder in the summer, but not wearing the biggest bag you own, right? Like not having the Mary-Kate and Ashley moment where, you know, the bag is like 3 times bigger than you and then you just end up looking so little next to it. Like that doesn't help. So like you kind of have to pick your battles. Like, you know, do you want to be able to carry like a surfboard in there and all your SPF, or, you know, do you want to like maybe have somebody else carry that? No, I'm just kidding. And then you carry like a smaller bag. So those are kind of some choices, because the smaller bag just doesn't compete with you, right? It doesn't compete with your size, just adds that nice finishing touch. And as we've been discussing throughout the whole video, you can't underestimate the power of shoes, and whether or not that is a smaller heel like this one, or something that matches your skin tone, or even something that steals a show like this shoe. This is so beautiful, and if you have a special occasion, like if you're gonna be a wedding guest, or you have like a benefit, or just something fancy to go to, then this is your shoe. This is absolutely gorgeous. Again, has that classic comfort. It's got the traction. It's got the high rebound cushioning for impact so that you will dance into the night. You don't even have to switch into those gross like wedding flip-flops that everybody has at their weddings. You can just keep this shoe on. And they have them in a few different colors. I just chose the sparkles because sometimes you just want to like steal the show and like have everybody looking at your feet, and these are perfect for that. Don't forget my discount code, 10% off. I know you're gonna love them. Let me know if you've worn COSY Island before. I would love to hear from you. And if you want more summer specific tips, make sure to check out my do's and don'ts of linen. I'll see you there. And if you learned something today, make sure to hit the subscribe button.